Hi, my name's Amy. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Obviously, I discuss, self-development and moving forward for the achy breaky heart. So, obviously, if you do enjoy my video, don't forget to subscribe on the link below. And if you like, you can support me on liking my videos or leaving a comment. So, obviously, I've had a request from a friend, and it's basically what I'm going to be discussing today is, the insecure person in a relationship. And I'm not talking about just like insecure at the odd occasion. I'm talking about somebody that's really insecure, and obviously, the effects that insecurity has. So I'm obviously going to describe the insecure person, what the causes, what's the causes of an insecure person, and what comes up with insecure people in romantic relationships. So I'm going to get started. In insecure people in relationships, they tend to be quite very anxious and unsure about themselves. They tend to lack self-confidence, which can lead to jealous, possessive and needy behaviours, which drive the other partner away as a result of their uncertainty and their trust issues. An insecure partner will be consistently worried. If they're going to be worried that their partner will become attracted to other people, and then they will worry that this partner will eventually find them no fun anymore and boring, and then they'll basically be replaced with somebody better. So that's basically what an insecure partner is, and that's like, so I'm talking about somebody that's quite really deeply insecure. So I'm going to go into the causes of an insecure person. Now, I'm just going to re-add that most people feel insecure at one point in their lives, whether this is, financially, or it's within relationships or within friendships or within their career, people maybe in the social circle, people, it's normal to feel insecure at some point in your life, right? But however, there is people who suffer intense insecurity, and obviously I'm covering intense insecurity in relationships. Now this could be, there's a number of options. This could be childhood past traumas. This could be, parents divorcing quite suddenly when when you were younger, or it could be experiences of trauma for their past. There's people that have been abused, physically, mentally, psychologically, or sexually, or they could have been bullied growing up, or they could have just some big event that's happened in their life that's caused a lot of shock to them, and they've maybe never really been able to resolve that. They've maybe just, so it's kind of caused them a lot of issues, and as I say, they've ended up with rejection issues and abandonment issues. But this is really severe. This is, nobody likes being rejected and nobody likes being abandoned, but you'll find that the very insecure person, it absolutely rules their life, and it kind of, as I says, it stems from the negative belief systems about themselves, and it creates an unrealistic view of a person in a relationship and how that person should be. And if that person isn't acting the way they believe they should, or they're no coming across, or they're no saying, they're no talking in a way that that will meet their expectations, it can basically, it's a really unrealistic and painful view. They put too much set standards on what a relationship should be, and it basically causes a lot of anxiety and a lot of problems, not just for themselves but the partner as well. So, you know, what comes with insecure people in romantic relationships, you know, this is usually triggered by emotional insecurity, which causes unease and nervousness within the person. So this, like, it triggers like an internal vulnerability, right? And this makes a person feel inferior to their partner. But underneath, they believe that basically they're just not worth this person, whether they're consciously aware of it or no. But underneath, there's a belief being triggered that because the emotional vulnerability. So what happens is they believe they're not worth this person's love, and they begin to question the other person and their motives. So they basically, in reality, the insecure person's like self-image, like their egoic mind, has been triggered by vulnerability, causing them to feel unstable within themselves, like emotionally, and threatened. And this results in controlling, needy, possessive and jealous behaviours. And the person most of the time is not consciously aware of it, which I've covered. So they're not consciously aware of this, and they believe, they are convinced, and they believe, right? There's no doubt in their minds that it's the other half, it's the partner that's doing this. They are convinced. They're like, no, you're making me think this way. You're making me behave this way. So they're really like, so basically, because like they view the situation and the perception of the situation, they buy into that, right? And basically, when it's not actually the situation or the person that's the issue, it's the truth is that their egoic mind has been fractured, and it's created a lot of insecurity and imbalance within themselves. And what happens is when the insecurity and imbalance comes up, it causes the person's perception of this other person to be clouded. And what happens is, as I say, they're looking for the slightest wee thing, or they're looking for they're looking for problems. They're looking for suspicious behaviours. And basically what they're doing is they're just feeding into their feelings of paranoia and inadequacy, and they will act against this, right? They will act against this because they believe that this is happening, but what they don't know is they're actually looking for the cracks. They're looking for the cracks themselves, whether they're aware of it or no, and they will believe that paranoia. They will believe what they're thinking at that point, and they buy into it. And as I say, what happens is they act against us with like controlling behaviours and, you know, jealousy, and like just driving the other person crazy, and basically just causing more pain and hurt. No, in the situation, and not just for themselves but for their partners also. And the sad truth is, you know, an insecure person, they believe their own thoughts, they believe their own beliefs, you know. And what happens is they start they're convinced of that, and they start to like pin their partners down emotionally or psychologically, or they'll not let them leave their sight. Like, they become really kind of possessive or needy, and this is basically a means to keep this is a kind of desperate attempt to keep the person that they think they love is where they are, exactly where they want them. And the only reason why they're doing this behaviour is because they're afraid of losing them. So they will do everything to pin that person down, to control them. So what they will start like to recognise a partner becoming distant. And remember, I was showing you the thought cycle and how it affects their emotions, and how it affects and then they start to become convinced, and it affects their behaviours. So this is basically what will happen is they'll recognise the partner becoming distant, and they will believe that what they're thinking is true, without realising that it was their behaviours that's resulted in their partner becoming distant in the first place. And what happens is when their partner decides, no, enough's enough, the insecure person will actually be convinced that they were right about this person. But like, see, I knew it, I was right all along. But they're not realising that it was their behaviours and like them identifying with their thoughts and their beliefs that drove this person away in the first place. So what happens is the person with insecure people is they can, like, this obviously keeps happening, and they can recognise, insecure people can recognise and say out loud, like, they're insecure. They can recognise that and they can say it out loud. But the thing is, without actually doing any work on themselves and seeing the reality for what it is, then they will just continue to cause heartache, not only to their partners or their current partner, but to themselves. Mainly because extremely insecure people don't tend to be successful in the love game, and they don't tend to sit very comfortably with themselves either. So what will happen is, the relationship will start, unicorns, butterflies, euphoria, and it'll end in just absolute tears and heartache, and this person feeling really depressed, no self-worth. It can even create addiction issues. A lot of people who are really insecure, they have addiction issues. So I'm not saying them all, I'm just saying a majority do have addiction issues, and they're just basically in this cycle. And then what they'll do is they'll just jump from relationship to relationship to relationship, and they'll, as I say, they'll start the same, the relationships, and they'll end the same. But really, they're just like repeating like a cycle, right? Like, have you ever heard of like the quote that Albert Einstein says? Insanity, repeating the same results, and repeating the same thing and expecting different results. This is what the insecure person is doing, but really, because they're not brave enough to be on their own, and if they were to be brave enough to be on their own and do some work and look at themselves, then they will be able to kind of recognise that it is their thoughts, it is their beliefs, it is like their response to their emotions, which is causing this same heartache, this same pain for themselves all the time, that they're seeking validation in someone else to make them feel better, but they're not actually. All they're doing is just avoiding all the crap that's going on inside of them. And that fear of loneliness, because they were abandoned, because they were rejected, so they don't want to feel alone. They don't want to be alone. So that's what I'm saying. They need to work on themselves and recognise that patterns, not just in romantic relationships, in every relationship, because what they'll probably notice is that they tend to cause the same problems, but no, just in romantic relationships or friendships and that. But the thing is, when they just say they are single for a wee bit and they make pals and that, what happens is as soon as they get a boyfriend or a girlfriend, they'll drop all their pals, they'll drop all their plans, they'll drop everything for this person. And then, as I say, it's just the same old cycle that repeats itself. So I would suggest, for people, that what I've described, people that do have this level of insecurity and lack of trust and, low self-worth, I would, suggest that maybe like seeking help with these issues, like maybe even going through one-to-one therapy or group therapy, because what it is these people are just a product of abandonment issues, like quite deep rejection issues from a young age. They've maybe had a significant event, a trauma that's happened in their lives that's heavily affected their view on other human beings. So it's not really just about, romantic relationships. They just don't trust human beings as a result of this trauma. And you will find that these people maybe don't have many friends. They're loners by nature. They will have friends, but they won't have any sort of close relationships. And obviously, romantic relationships, because that person makes them feel desired. That's what they're looking for. They're looking to feel desired. So when a romantic relationship, they just want to cling on to this because this person sees them as wow, and they want to keep a hold of this person. So maybe they've been cheated on in the past, or maybe they've been the cheater in the past. And this is maybe just a reflection of their past behaviours. But what happens is they just tend to carry their past into different relationships, different circumstances. But all they're doing is just repeating the same patterns, and they're not recognising that they're just carrying, that they're still living in the past. And they're not gonna find, and they're not gonna end up happy or secure or finding the love of their life without actually addressing these past issues, recognising when the thinking's creeping in, recognising when the beliefs are kicking. But how are you supposed to do that if you've not done work on yourself and you've not actually got any awareness of this thinking and that these beliefs and how you respond to the emotions? You'd never be able to learn the tools to be able to recognise it and actually see that your belief system and that miscrewed thinking, you're not going to see the reality of it until you actually look at it and actually to see that this is a load of nonsense. And this is a load of crap I've built up in my head, and it's just caused me heartache. And as I said, insecure people aren't the bad people. They just they've maybe just got a lot of unresolved issues, and they're never really going to find happiness with anybody else or validation with anybody else until they learn to actually look at themselves and find that validation within themselves and learn to be happy on their own without that relationship and that. But if the insecure person is currently in a relationship, this video is not just about people that have lost somebody. This could be somebody that's in a relationship, then and they're scared that they're going to lose this person, and maybe they don't want to lose this person. So, or the one that's lost the person. The one that's lost the person, and what do we do, right? So obviously, I think the insecure person that's in the relationship, I think as hard as what it is, right? As hard as what it is, you need to create space between you and this person. You need to create space. And allow them freedom, because you've got heavy trust issues, right? How are you supposed to build on trust if you're not letting a person out of your sight to learn to trust them? Because you'll in your head you'll go, oh, they'll cheat on me, they'll do this, they'll do that. Well, if you believe that, then why would you be with the person? If you believe that, and it's not actually anything the person's done, but remember the impact you're having on this person. That's a horrible place to be, to feel like that they're not trusted, and that they're going to get controlled and they're going to get suffocated. It's no nice. And as I say, that was just going to drive that person away, and it's not going to help you or that person. And as I say, might have been cheated on in the past, but you need to take the wee risks and just allow them to breathe. And obviously you've got the person who, like, even, I'm just trying to explain it, like, better, even, you know, you go out and find pals. If you don't have pals, go out and find groups, social groups and that, so that the other half's going out and doing their thing and you're doing your thing, and you're not sitting in a house thinking, are they cheating on me? Are they talking to other men? Are they talking to other women? You know, find a hobbies, find activities, find a groups of people. You know, there's loads of organisations and voluntary groups and, you know, fellowships and stuff like that have got, like, people are in. You know what I mean? Because you'll find that if that person's going out all the time and you're staying in, you're going to have that person in your head. So what you want to do, and then you're not going to learn to trust them because you're just going to be panicking the whole time when they're away, is, you know, you make plans, that person makes plans, and then you'll find, I'm not saying that you're not going to be thinking about that person, you're not going to be on your phone, like, wonder what they're doing, what they're up to, but at least you'll be around other people and support, like a support network where you can maybe be honest about how you feel, as I say, like earlier, group therapy and stuff like that, where you can talk about how you feel, you can talk about your insecurities, you can talk about, and like, and no portraying that onto your partner, no throwing all that onto your partner. And basically what will happen is through time, you know, and when you're talking to other people and that, you see that your partner has come home and your partner has been coming back the past few times, you'll be like, what was I worried about? What was I insecure about? And then your self-esteem will build up and your self-worth. But also say, you know, as much as talking is great, I honestly believe with people like with this level of insecurity, really need to do some proper, you know, psychological work in themselves, whether this is through a therapist or whether it's through group therapy. You know, people with addiction issues or mental health issues, they, like, because you'll find that it is linked to mental health. They can go to these groups on a voluntary basis. They can go to, like, obviously people that's maybe doing community rehabs and stuff like that. There is options out there. You're not alone. There is plenty of places, or you could look up on the internet and see, like, if you don't think that you relate to, you know, the addiction and mental health, like, you could find something that's similar to what you want, like something that's similar to your needs at that point. There's always groups running, and voluntary groups running, where you can go and discuss things, and it's basically your wee private place where there's other people who are similar to you, and they can talk. You can talk about it and feel comfortable and no judged, because these other people are maybe feeling the same. And they're going through the same issues and insecurities. And as I says, you know, if the insecure person is, you know, currently, you know, in the relationship, and, like, just, as I says, you know, create that space, don't suffocate the person. If they're not in the relationship, then that's, and this person's left them, as much as that heartbreaking as that is to you at that point, I'd actually say that you're the more blessed one, because then you're going to be able to, you know, find time to access resources, find time to look up these places, and you're not going to have the distraction. A girlfriend or a boyfriend, you're not going to have feelings of paranoia and insecurity. You're going to have all that time to yourself to do all that psychological work, do all that group therapy, meet other people, and get that support network. You know, well, in this day and age, we're never alone anymore. So it's up to you. At least you've got that time and space to create and work on yourselves. And really see the reality of your insecurities are not real. It's just all fear, false evidence appearing real. So it's about recognising that the fears, that, like, all these thoughts and all these anxieties isn't real. I mean, but you're not going to recognise that without doing the work on yourself. And what will happen is, if you do carry out the work on yourself without diving into another relationship and creating a load of unnecessary nonsense in your lives, what will happen is, if you put 100% into it, you will create a healthier relationship with yourself. You'll create, like, peace and harmony within yourself. And then what happens is, when that person does, this certain somebody does come into your life, or that ex, you know what I mean, or a new romantic interest, you're going to be in a completely different headspace. You're going to have a more healthier approach to the relationships, and obviously a better response to them. And I'm not gonna lie to you and say, oh, the odd insecurity will not come up, but at least you'll be aware of it and go, oh, that's my head again, that's my insecurities again, and at least you'll have that thing in your head that'll say, right, well, like, because usually without the work done, you just act on impulse. You just buy into it all and believe it all, and it's all just lies that your head's telling you. So, as I say, this is like, if there is people that's maybe going through, like insecure people that's maybe going through the relationship breakup with the ex, like, I would say, obviously everybody knows my channel's on love and the no contact rule. I would honestly apply the no contact rule as hard as what it is, and as needy as you feel now, and as much as it feels like the end of the world. I would certainly just keep applying this to help you keep working on yourself and like your present reality and changing for the better, so that when happiness does come, you're going to be a bit more peaceful and content within yourselves, and you're going to be a lot more equipped to deal with a relationship, and maybe that ex will come back into your life at the right time, you know what I mean, when you're ready, and then at least you're not causing your heartache in the relationship, and you're not driving that person away. So, as I says, and I'll speak to the person that's in the relationship again, just allow that space and recognise it isn't the person, it's you, and feel that anxiety, allow that breathing space, allow that breathing space, and just keep talking through time. As I says, go out to groups, don't sit in a house. Go out to groups, reach out to people, make pals, you know what I mean, even if it's on a kind of shallow level or at first for whatever reason, you know what I mean, just to because what will happen is, like, through time, like, if you allow your partner like that space, and you both create that space for each other, what will happen is, for one, you'll realise that the partner is coming home, for one, and you've got nothing to worry about. Then you'll be able to build trust, and this person will respond to you better. They're not going to be distant with you. They're not going to be aloof with you, because they'll want to be around you. They'll feel comfortable. They'll feel at ease around you, and plus creating that space between you as well. Obviously, helps you appreciate each other more as well. So it's like, how's your day, or how was your day? And you're not in each other's faces and smothering this person, and which turns to dependent behaviours, arguments, animosity, insecurities. You don't need that. You know what I mean? So, and just breeding into all that jealousy and anxiety, So I would, put time in, put time and distance, and you will realise that you've nothing to worry about. So I hope this has helped. Practice loads of self-love, self-care, maybe do some meditation, find some hobbies. Some people might be creative, some people might want to do some DIY, find some time for hobbies in yourself, and also find some time, maybe a nice bath, value that time on your own. Try and find something to do on that time on your own which you'll enjoy, and get to know you and your own company. So I hope this helps. So as I say, if you like the video, just you can subscribe and and if you want to leave a comment, that's totally up to you. So thanks for listening, and I hope this helps. So thank you. Right, good night.